What's up, YouTube? This is Chrysanthius. I never post videos of anything, so I don't know why I feel so inspired to post a video about my garden. Oh yeah, I know why I feel inspired. Because so many of my friends are like, can you help me grow this? Can you help me grow that? And I'm about to show you what I got so far, first of all, as well as give you a little story about some of the gardening challenges that I come up against and how I overcome them. So we're going to start in the back because the back is the most boring. So here we go. So down here, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the back of the house so that you guys can see what it is that I'm talking about. So I live in a house that's a little over 1,400 square feet, and here's a neighbor's house and the neighbor's house. You know, the houses that all look alike. So that is my house, and the issue with that is because they are so skinny, you only have about that much of a walkway on either side. I believe it's like 5 feet on either side, and there's not a lot of way that sun can get through here. So in the back, I have had to it's been almost 4 years since I bought this house, and I've had to do certain tricks for this issue with shade. First of all, I have these two beautiful birch trees. They are so pretty in all seasons, but they shade over half of the backyard. And so while the leaves are not here, I have back here planted a couple of potatoes, and you can't see them yet, but when the sun is at about its midday point, it puts a lot of sun right back here. And so while the leaves aren't here to shade it out, I decided to put these potatoes here. Now, let me dig a little bit so I can show you guys what I did. I had some potatoes in the refrigerator. Oh, they way under the leaves. I'm gonna let them be. But I had some potatoes underneath the cabinets where I keep my potatoes, and they had gone to seed. You know the potatoes when they get like the little eyes all over them, right? So what I did was I cut the potatoes up with the eyes still attached. I let them dry out for a day or so, and then I planted them. And I planted them in some leftover leaves that I had, as well as a little bit of compost in my compost bin. And as they grow, I'm gonna keep adding dirt and adding dirt. And what's gonna happen is that potato container is gonna be full of potatoes come about August. It's a lot of fun to do with kids, and it's a way to not waste those potatoes that you put under your granny's buffet cabinet and forgot about. We've all done it. But anyhow, so that's that. Next, let's look at this. So this little bed right here has a lot of leafy vegetables. And another hack that I used, hey y'all, hey boos, is I had some mirrors that were in my garage den room that broke. And so another hack is to use mirrors to reflect whatever light is coming from the sky will bounce off of the mirrors and onto the garden bed. You guys see those sort of diagonal lines that are kind of like going that way? Those are from the mirrors. And so the mirrors give a little bit extra light in a place that won't get that much light. So back here I have a kale called Thousand Head kale. It's really big. I have some perpetual spinach, which is a variation of chard. I have some peas, some other stuff. Seeded it all, can't wait for it to grow. And y'all see these two little piles right here? Those are chicken manure, and they smell terrible, but I'm dressing those in preparation for my cannabis plants. I grow really big cannabis plants. Those of you who are not from Oregon, be jealous, be very jealous. But I'm going to pick those up soon. It's almost time for them to go outside, and they'll usually grow taller than this fence and provide me with medicinal recreations. Over here, I had some asparagus, but behind this fence right here, y'all see that little tree right there? That is a Japanese maple, and it's so cute. But what it does is it sends roots underneath, and the roots compete with my asparagus. The asparagus is right in here, and it's hard to see, but we got a little baby right there getting ready to come up. But I don't want it to be in competition with this tree anymore, so I think I'm gonna root it up and take it in the front yard. But asparagus is another vegetable that grows well in partial shade, and so I have it over here. I'm starting some tomato babies here. And once they get bigger, I'm going to transplant them. But another thing about the sun on this back patio is when it shifts from spring to summer, this whole back patio is going to be extra sunny. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a big clear plastic bag over this entire thing to create a little greenhouse for those babies to get extra light and extra heat until it's time for me to transplant them. Okay, what we got next? We got my compost bin. And I take my food scraps and the leaves from the trees. Like if you guys can see right down here where my foot is, like if you look at that, that's all delicious, wonderful soil that can go into the garden. Oh, there's a little worm. Hi, worm. Where you go, Cuddy? Hold on. Where you at? Huh? Don't you run from me. Well, he done ran. Anyhow, this pile and its surroundings is full of worms. So the kitchen scraps that we consume at home, you can either compost them municipally or you can compost them directly in the pile. There goes some eggs and lemon from some Kool-Aid. And as you can see, I put my leaves on top. There's the bag. It will compost down. The more food waste I get, the more I'm going to add, and I can put that directly into a garden bed. As a matter of fact, I did put it into a garden bed. We'll get up there soon. This used to be a little patio plant, and it was about a quarter of this size when my former next door neighbor Louise, she left me. She went to Austin, Texas, and I miss her. But she gave me this plant, and I stuck it here, and it lives throughout the winter and everything else. It is strong. I think it's some kind of either palm or bromeliad. I don't even know. I don't know what it's called, but I love it. And it seems happy here by the tree, so that's what we're doing. I've started a little bed here of some leftover, what are those things called? Brassica seeds. And brassicas are things like kale, collards, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, chard, things of that family, radishes. And so what had happened, y'all know when we say that, it's going to be a big old story. What had happened was I left some seeds out, and I left them in my, what's that thing called? I left them in my bicycle basket and was looking around, running around, like, what did I do with those seeds? Well, they got rained on. So I had to bring them and create a bed, and we're going to hope that it works out here, because we do get a little bit of sun that comes like right up from here through here. And here's a rose bush that does really well. It was high as the fence, but I cut it back, and so it'll grow back. It'll get big and pretty. It's a climber. Right here are a couple sets of peonies. So about May or June, I'm gonna have some big old beautiful fragrant flowers. This is a form of hydrangea. It's a star hydrangea, and it produces these cute little white flowers. But I think I'm gonna move this to the front. I think I'm gonna move it. The front gets more sun. And there's another small hydrangea. Okay, so that's what we got in the back. We're gonna go on a walk to the front, and I'm gonna show you guys what I wound up doing up here. I sort of turned my front yard into a bit of a not urban forest, but I've been really interested in permaculture. And permaculture is when you plant things and they work in harmony with one another so that they grow and you really don't have to do anything. So check out my front yard. Right here, raspberries. And you might notice that I planted the raspberries next to the freaking trash can. Okay? What we're not going to do is worry about Chrysanthius' trash, because that's not what this video is about. But this is just because raspberries will, number one, freaking grow anywhere. Second of all, they are invasive. So why not tuck them off in a corner where they're going to live through an apocalypse and live next to garbage? They're fine. This is a peach tree that I bought when we first moved over here, and it got a really bad case of leaf curl, and I thought it died, and I cut it all the way. Y'all see that cut way down there? I cut it all the way back there, and it came back in the form of all these little branches. See all that? So since it got the will to live, who am I to tell it to die? So brought it to the front. Let's see what it does. Right here we got heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. So those are doing what they do. Can't wait till they come back. We got a lavender bush. This was sold to me by my friend Courtney. He is like such a horticulturist. I need him to open a shop. He has the most amazing, weird, exotic, cool plants. Can't wait to see what he has this year. But this right here is a pomegranate. And the pomegranate has little spines on me. I don't know if I can focus on that spine, but they are spiny, so you got to be careful. Last year I got 3 good sized, really yummy sweet pomegranates about November or December. This is what I'm most proud of. This is the beginning of my little tiny strip of food forest. This is a columnar apple tree. Okay, I think this is the golden sentinel. I think I removed the tags, but these apple trees grow up in a column for people who don't have room. And y'all seen how skinny my house is, so I don't have room. Then we got a late blooming blueberry. Then we have another dwarf Fuji apple tree. Then we have an early blooming. Y'all can see the difference between the early blooming and the late blooming blueberries. Got all them blooms. And then here's another columnar apple tree. And I planted all these in a row because they need each other to pollinate. Oh, good God, I'm filming. Sounding like chickens. Anyhow, they need each other to bloom. So I planted them all in a row. This is what is this thing? Oh yeah, this is a red currant bush. This red currant bush was planted again in the shade. I'm such a dork. I think I can defy the laws of nature, and I plant stuff in the shade like it's really gonna work. So just today I moved this baby up front, and I can't wait to see what it produces. Last year I got about 24 really good sweet tart berries, and I like to can and preserve, and I can't wait to make my first red currant jam. Little piece of rosemary that I found that was a stray. We'll see what it does, along with a couple more blueberries. Now let's wrap around to this side. Hi, Camaro. Y'all, I had to pay a really big tax debt, so I had to refinance the house, and there was some money left over. And so after that horrible audit, I decided, why not buy myself a treat? So here's my treat. Anyway, so this is the big, old, raggedy, but still functional garden bed. Right here, I planted some seeds. We got seeds here. This chard I planted last October or so, and it overwintered. So we will have some in the spring and throughout the spring and into summer based on those plants. Underneath here, these are my little mini greenhouses. I have a friend in the food service business. He runs a food cart. The food cart is Hannah's New Orleans Snowballs and More. If you're ever in Portland, go check him out. You will eat yourself into a food coma, I guarantee you. But anyway, he makes these things called Kool-Aid pickles. And it's one of the best treats I've ever had. But he has these leftover jars and he gives them to me. So underneath them are tomato plants. Let me see if you can see one. You see how it's created its own little precipitation and evaporation and getting warmth from the sun. There's some onions I planted over the fall, garlic that I planted over the fall. This is a big giant parsley. Pretty soon it's gonna go to seed, so I'm gonna pull it up, and I think I'm gonna make some parsley pesto. I got chives. I just planted these little celery. I don't have luck with celery, but I keep planting it like it's gonna be different or something, but we'll see. This is a collard tree. A collard tree. It never goes to seed. It keeps growing and growing. It grows tall instead of wide, and it sends out like these tree-like branches where more collards will grow. And so I'm trying to start some more of those. This bed I just put in last week, and I showed you my compost bin. Almost all the dirt from here, all the soil from here came from that compost bin. So this bed is full of seeds. I think those are radishes or something that's coming up, but it's completely full of seeds. We'll see how it does. Then I've got just some regular lettuce and a few onions there, some more seeds there. And I'm saying seeds because I forgot what I planted. And I got some giant red mustard there. So I want to introduce you guys to my other baby. This is a dwarf peach tree, and it won't grow any bigger than that. That's the size it is gonna be. Might send out more branches, but that's it. Last year I got some small but amazingly delicious peaches. We got another dwarf tree. This is a dwarf cherry tree, and it's also self-pollinating, and so self-fertile, that is. And last year got a handful of amazing cherries. Looking forward to more. Got a fig tree, but I don't know though. It's looking kind of sad. I need to prune it back and see how dead it is, because y'all see, like right there, see how hollow and dry that is. That's decay. But we got a bud right there, so all of it's not decayed. I gotta cut back and see how far I gotta go. Rose bushes. So my mom has been hounding me for years about planting rose bushes. She has this amazing knack for starting roses from roses that you would get from the store or the florist. She does that, and she's given my sister some of the big red beautiful roses that go in bouquets, and she's like, well, how come you ain't never planting no roses? Well, I never had nowhere to put them. Finally, I found somewhere to put the roses. We got a pineapple guava. We've got honeysuckle. This smells so good. It smells just like the Bath and Body Works honeysuckle lotion and stuff that you be getting. This is what is this? What the heck is this? Oh, this is a lilac. Lilac. So I was at my brother's house sitting in his yard, and there's a sad looking lilac in a pot just sitting there. And so I didn't even ask him for it. I just said, I'm still in this, and I walked off with it. So here it is, and it's doing well. Another rose bush. A hole, which I think is where I'm going to put that star hydrangea that I told you guys about in the back. This is the asparagus bed that I have in the front that I'm thinking about moving the back asparagus to. And this is, what is this? This is a form of sage. It's not the sage that you bundle and burn, but it still smells very fragrant, very good, and it puts out the prettiest flowers, and it goes crazy. It's a perfect plant to just put on the side of the house where it doesn't get a lot of sun. Right here, it's another compost pile because I'm too lazy to take it around in the back, but that's all right. And I forgot what this thing is called, but it puts out really pretty flowers in the summertime. So that, folks, is my garden. We're going to see how it does. I think it should be great this year. Oh, wait, forgot one thing. Strawberries. Yeah, this bed looks a mess, but strawberries will also survive an apocalypse, so I don't care. We also, across the street, have a mess of blackberry vines, which I absolutely hate the way they look. But I'll tell you what, in August, they make quite a delight. So that's what I got. I will do some quick walkthroughs every couple of weeks to keep you guys updated on how my garden is doing. So let me tell you this. Gardening may seem hard. It may seem difficult. It may seem time consuming. Well, it is time consuming, but it's really not that hard, y'all. All you really need is sun, good soil, water, and patience. That's all you need. That is all you need. Oh yeah, and some seeds and some plants. There are actually a lot of seeds and plants that you can find right in your kitchen that you can put in the ground, and they will grow, like those potatoes is one example. Anyway, I have overstayed my welcome. I hope you all enjoy. I will keep you updated and posted on how my garden is doing. Bye.